It was a very uncomfortable watch. It was an incredibly short watch, but incredibly uncomfortable to see. And I know from being here in Paris that there are a lot of women competitors who are very concerned, not just about whether we're getting the balance right between inclusion, fairness and safety in boxing, but in other sports as well. Successive governments have always said that these are often quite complex biological matters. In this case, I think it is more complex than is being presented on social media. And so it's right that sporting bodies take those decisions. But I have a role, the government has a role to make sure that they have the guidance, the support and the advice that they need to be able to make those decisions and get that balance right. It's really important for me to make sure that those questions that the public have are answered and that we can have confidence in the BBC going forwards. He was very forthcoming about what the BBC knew and when, and made a good start yesterday at going out onto the media and explaining to the public some of the reasoning behind the decisions that have been made. I've obviously got ongoing concerns about the way that we ensure value for money for the taxpayer and making sure that we're future-proofing the BBC so that whistleblowers are heard, complaints are acted upon in a timely way, and as far as is humanly possible to make sure that nothing like this can ever happen again. There are outstanding issues there that the BBC Director General has agreed to take away with his board and come back to me on. I look forward to continuing those discussions next week. The BBC has to operate within employment law, and I've asked to see some of the advice around that. I, like everybody else in this country, I pay the licence fee, I care about the future of the BBC, and I am very concerned about the fact that you have somebody in such a prominent position who is committing such serious crimes, and that taxpayers' money was being used to fund his salary as well. I've asked the BBC to look at what is possible around that to ensure value for money for the taxpayer, and I'll continue to have those conversations with them.